Hi guys, welcome back to Linda's Pantry. And today I've been doing all these sourdough starter type videos, breads and everything for you. And this is part of a collab that's not a collab, but Lisa from Sutton's Days, I'll leave the links down below. And sorry, I'm getting over a really horrible cold. And Patty from Alderman Farms, all three of us started this collab, but it's not a collab kind of thing, doing sourdough starter, either recipes. We all did how to start a sourdough starter, how to maintain it, and now we're doing recipes and or other things. So I really want you to look at this starter. I have increased it in volume. Look at that, how bubbly and fantastic it is. It is so happy. I fed it this morning. And I have not refrigerated mine. The only discard I do is when I'm making bread. And it's sour, it's got all that natural yeast in the air. It's a natural leavening for bread. Now, can you boost it with more yeast to make it make it go faster? Yes, of course you can. And I've done that. But today, because I promised, there's several of you asking for sourdough starter, and I'm going to start dehydrating it for you. I'm going to show you how easy this is. You can dehydrate starter in a dehydrator, or actually just leave it out on the counter at room temperature and it will dry out on its own if you spread it out thin enough. So let me bring you in. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm also selling some live starter. So I'm going to be selling this starter dehydrated. So if you guys across the airwaves need sourdough starter, know that it will start out to be what my starter is, and it'll be active if you follow the instructions that I would give you. And I would send that with this sourdough starter mix. But it's also going to take on the yeast in your area, so it will eventually have a little bit different flavor. But that's the beauty of this. The sourdough starters can go forever, and you can keep them alive for years and years to come. So let's do this. Instead of baking bread tonight, I'm going to dehydrate some sourdough starter, and I'm putting it on my Excalibur dehydrator. I've got these silicone sheets. I bought new ones just for this, and like I said, you could leave it out on the counter or you can put it in the dehydrator, but I'm gonna have you come in close so you see exactly what I'm doing. And I apologize for the camera movement, but here we go. We are gonna take out of this bubbly, let's see if I can get another up close. See all those big air pockets? That's all good stuff. That's an active, beautiful starter. Yeah, she's happy, happy, happy. So first the live starter that I'm selling, I usually give them a 1/4 cup of starter. So we're gonna start with that. And then she can feed it and grow it. And actually you don't even need a 1/4 cup. You could start out with just a couple of tablespoons and be just fine. So really and truly, I might give it a little bit more. I know she wants to make bread by Friday. So she's probably not gonna bake bread on Friday because we're already Wednesday. She's gonna have to feed it a couple of times. And yeah, it'll probably be closer to Saturday, but that's okay. So there's that. Now that is going to go and I'm probably gonna leave this out, leave the lid loose. I'm gonna leave it out. I'm not gonna feed it. I'm gonna take it to her tomorrow. Maybe I will feed it in the morning. I'll feed it in the morning and let it just, room temperature kind of thing, and let her do her thing. Sorry for my voice. So to dehydrate starter, you're literally gonna smear as thin as you can get it. I'm gonna grab some starter. This is so much fun. Sourdough is like the most fun. It's like having a pet, only you could, if you get tired of dealing with it, you just put your pet to sleep and you don't deal with them for a minute. So take a 1/4 cup, and this right here is some that was probably part of the skin that got down in, you know, where it dries out on top. I'll just take that out. I'm not gonna worry about that. So you're gonna spread this out as thin as you can get it on your dehydrator mat or whatever you're gonna put this, you know, parchment paper. I would do it on a silicone mat of some sort. So literally spread it out, and we're gonna dehydrate it at a very low temperature. So I'm gonna put this starter on my Excalibur, but it's gonna be at 95 degrees or below. You don't want to get it up too high or cook, because this is there's live bacteria and yeast in here. We want to keep it alive. So I've got my first silicone tray done. So if you guys are interested in purchasing starter from me from the Northwest, you can email me. My email is down below. You can email me, and I would be more than happy to do that. I'll be sending it in a regular envelope with the instructions on how to get that back into shape. And we're talking $10 for a sourdough starter that's active and delicious and live. Ooh, and sticky. I saw there was a thick spot there. So, okay, nice. See how thin? Get as thin as you can, because once it dehydrates, we're then gonna powder it and or flake it, but I'll powder it. If I can, I'll powder it. So I'm gonna bring my next tray over, and here we go. Again, that's how easy this is. Literally, just smear, smear, smear away. All right, we're gonna put this on the dehydrator on the lowest setting, and literally it'll be done in the morning, and then I'll bring you back and I'll show you what it looks like, and we'll powder it up, okay? So, yeah, so fun. So fun. So I hope that if you need starter and you're intimidated and you don't want to try to do it on your own, even though we showed you how to do it, if you don't want to do it, here's an option. All right. Leave me a comment in the comment section below if you do this differently, or if you just leave it out to dry on the counter, because it will. It will also collect more yeast, but it also can collect dust and that kind of thing too, which I don't want in my starter, so I'm gonna leave that out of the equation. I have a wood stove, and you know, there's ash and stuff that sometimes will be in the air. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Hey guys, so it's the next day. Actually, it's a couple days later, but it's out on the dehydrator, and this is what it ends up looking like flakes. You can actually dehydrate this if you've got a pretty dry house just at room temperature. So either way, but the lowest setting on your dehydrator. And then you can leave it in this form and break up the flakes, or you can do what I'm gonna do. And wow, this actually, look at this. This actually had bubbles. It was still, look how active. It had bubbles going on while it was in there. So all the bacteria and the yeast, the natural yeast that's in the air, is now going to be preserved for later, and I can reactivate it, or you can. So if you're interested in purchasing any of my sourdough starter, this is how it's going to be sold. In a little envelope, and I will have instructions on how to bring it back to life and use it. And so then you get a starter from a particular area, and with that yeast and that bacteria and that flavor, but then it will start attracting and collecting your own area. So it will have its own unique taste when it's all said and done. So I just take these sheets off of here, and we're gonna go right into the coffee grinder with it. So make sure your coffee grinder or whatever you're using to mill this up is nice and clean and sanitized, which I just did. So I don't even drink coffee anymore. It's kind of weird, but I don't. Okay. Fill that up, and it's gonna come right down to nothing. And let me bring you in close, and I'll show you how this looks. This is some of the best sourdough starter I've ever had, and I've had several over the years, but and one I kept alive for many years, but then a move and lifestyle change changed that, and I ended up letting it pass away, but I gave most of it away before that happened. Okay, so I'm gonna get this lid on and grind this up, and let me bring you in close. Okay, here we go. We're just whizzing it up into a powder. And there you go. Oh yeah. And if you have a couple of flakes in there, so it's more like a granulated powder, if you will. Let's see if I can get this more in. There you go. So it doesn't see how it's like a granulated powder. Very cool. And we'll just keep doing this, and I'll let you know what 3 trays of this. Actually, it's yielding more than I thought it would. But I'll get these trays all done, and I'll bring you back, and I'll show you how much I have. And then I will be feeding my starter this week for more. But I'm making sourdough something at least every other day. Right now, I am doing sourdough, garlic, and pesto knots. So if you want to see a video for that, let me know. I'd be more than happy to share that with you. Yeah. And then you just wash your tray mats off or dust them off, and you're ready for round 2. All right. Oh, did I? Yes. Okay. I'll be back. Okay. This is it. And I'm just going to tell you, I can smell the sourdough. And I can smell it. It smells wonderful. It absolutely smells wonderful. So this gave me, this is a squatty half pint. So it gave me a nice full jar to start with. And so I have my email addresses down below if you're interested in purchasing sourdough starter. It will be mailed in a regular envelope, and 2 tablespoons of this, and I'll show you how, or I'll tell you how to bring it back to life and make your own sourdough bread as beautiful as mine. All right. Whoops. I guess it could be up here. Sorry. Okay. Anyways, I can't wait to see you next time with another delicious sourdough recipe. And yes, more starter. More starter. I'm just going to keep it alive. I'm not even going to let it go dormant in the fridge because every time I get too much, I can dehydrate it. Quick and easy. Yes. All right. We'll see you next time. Bye.